For everyone that wants to teach, read the Bible, press start on the beginning of the chapter, press stop at the end of the chapter, name the chapter, whatever the chapter is, Jeremiah chapter 50, and make a video. And then it makes them search better, and it makes it easier to put it up on the website. If anyone wants to read for the website, submit some videos, and then we'll talk about it with the administrators. And then if you're reading the book and you're not leading anyone astray, then we will definitely put you in. Chapter 51. Thus saith the Lord, Behold, I will raise up against Babylon, and against them that dwell in the midst of them, that rise up against me a destroying wind, and will send unto Babylon the fanners that shall fan her, and chop off another head. And I will send unto Babylon fanners that shall fan her, and shall empty her land. For in the day of trouble they shall be against her round about. I wonder if Michael's here. It says Archangel Michael's mission. Thus saith the Lord, Behold, I will raise up against Babylon, and against them that dwell in the midst of them, that rise up against me a destroying wind. And I will send unto Babylon fanners that shall fan her, and shall empty her land. For in the day of trouble they shall be against her round about. Against him that bendeth, let the archer bend his bow, and against him that lifteth himself up and is bringing, and spare ye not her young men, destroy ye utterly all her host. Thus the slain shall fall in the land of the Chaldeans, and they that are thrust through in her streets. For Israel has not been forsaken. For Israel has not been forsaken, nor Judah of his God. Or 51:5. For Israel hath not been forsaken, nor Judah of his God, of the Lord of hosts. Through their land was filled with sin against the Holy One of Israel. Flee out of the midst of Babylon, and deliver every man his soul. Be not cut off in her iniquity, for this is the time of the Lord's vengeance, and he will render unto her recompense. Babylon hath been a golden cup in the Lord's hand, that made all the earth drunk. The nations have drunken of her wine, and therefore the nations are mad. Who holds a gold cup with wine? Babylon has suddenly fallen and destroyed. Howl for her. Take balm for her pain. If so be she may be healed. Eastern Orthodox, Western, Rome, Constantinople. We do know for sure that the Pope holds a golden cup. And on Rocky Step he's going to offer some more wine. Babylon is fallen and destroyed. Howl for her. Take balm for her pain. If so be she may be healed. 9. We would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Forsake her, and let us go, every one into his own country, for her judgment reaches up unto heaven, and is lifted up even to the skies. The Lord hath brought forth our righteousness. Come, let us declare in Zion the work of our Lord God. Make the bright arrows. Gather the shields. The Lord hath raised up the spirit of the kings of the Medes. The Medes. So he's going to use the Medes to destroy them. There's Darius, Artaxerxes. For his device is against Babylon to destroy it, because it is the vengeance of the Lord, the vengeance of his temple. Set up the standard upon the walls of Babylon, and make the watch strong, and set up the watchmen. 12. Set up the standard upon the walls of Babylon and make the watch strong. Set up the watchmen, prepare the ambushes for the Lord. For the Lord hath devised and done that which he spake against the inhabitants of Babylon. Babel, confusion. What all of us are so sick of. Can we just have the whole truth and nothing but? Maybe. Some people like lies. Liar's poker, right? I hate it. My favorite thing to do is take the sword and slice the lies to pieces. Set up a standard upon the walls of Babylon, make the watch strong, set up the watchmen, prepare the ambushes, for the Lord hath devised and done that which he spake against the inhabitants of Babylon. O thou that dwellest upon many waters, abundant in treasures, thine end is come in the measure of thy covenantness. The Lord of hosts has sworn by himself, saying, surely I will fill thee with men as with caterpillars, and they shall lift up a shout against thee. And he hath made the earth by his power, and he has established the world by his wisdom, and he has stretched out the heaven by his understanding. Could the sun do that? S-U-N? I mean, I love the sun as much as everybody else, probably more. I mean, most of my pictures have the sun in it. But could the sun do this? He hath made the earth by his power. He hath established the world by his wisdom, and he hath stretched out the heaven by his understanding. How could a moon or a sun or any star do these things? When he uttereth his voice, there is a multitude of waters in heaven. And he causes the vapors to ascend from the ends of the earth, he maketh lightnings with rain, and he bringeth forth the wind out of his treasures. Every man is brutish by his own knowledge. Every founder is confounded by the graven image. Every founder is confounded by the graven image. So, got some visitors. The founder would be who? The one that the graven image is made of. Right? So Christ, founder, comes back, knows his dad's rules, sees a statue of himself here, there, everywhere, and I'd be confounded too. I still wonder about it every time I see one. That's 51:17. Every man is brutish by his knowledge. Every founder is confounded by the graven image. Founder is also somebody that makes them. For his molten image is falsehood, and there is no breath in them. So that statue over there is just a statue. It's nothing. Nebuchadnezzar made a statue, made everyone worship it, and if you didn't worship it, you were thrown in burning fire. So, in that case, it's pretty obvious why you would know. Why God would be very angry against a metal, or wood, or a stone that another man makes men and women and children worship instead of the real one. The real God. Why? Because the man wants power. So he makes a little statue, then he makes everybody kneel down to it. We know for sure at all times there's at least 7,000 that have not kneeled to Baal. This verse is why I opened this chapter and we started here. I was going to just start John 1, but I'm going to stand in front of a statue I wanted you guys to know. Every man is brutish by his own knowledge. Every founder is confounded by the graven image. For his molten image is falsehood, and there is no breath in them. They are vanity, the work of heirs, and in the time of their visitation they shall perish. Their portion of Jacob is not like them, for he is the former of all things, and Israel is the rod of his inheritance, and the Lord of hosts is his name. Thou art my battle axe, and weapons of war, for with thee I shall break in pieces the nations, and with thee I will destroy the kingdoms. And with thee I will break in pieces the horse and the rider, and with thee I will break in pieces the chariot and his rider. With thee also I will break in pieces man and woman, and with thee I will break in pieces old and young, and with thee I will break in pieces the young man and the maid. I will also break in pieces with thee the shepherd and his flock, and with thee I will break in pieces the husbandman and his yoke of oxen, and with thee I will break in pieces the captains and the rulers. And I will render unto Babylon and to all the inhabitants of Chaldea all their evil that they have done in Zion in your sight, saith the Lord. Yahweh, Elion, El. Behold, I am against thee, O destroying mountain, saith the Lord, which destroyeth all the earth. Behold, I am against thee, O destroying mountain, saith the Lord, which destroyeth all the earth. And I will stretch out my hand upon thee, and roll thee down from the rocks, and I will make thee a burnt mountain. And they shall not take a stone for a corner, nor a stone for foundations, but thou shalt be desolate forever, saith the Lord. Wow, what did you guys do to make him this mad? I know. Now I know. Now I know. Set up a standard in the land, and blow the trumpet among the nations. Prepare the nations against her. Call together against her the kingdoms of Ararat, Mini, Ashkenaz. Really? AKA Nazis. Ashkenaz. Appoint a captain against her. Cause the horses to come up as the rough caterpillars. Prepare against the nations with wings of the, or with the kings of the Mede. Prepare against her the nations with the king of the Medes. So is there any chance that in Iran today the Medes, the good guys, are going to be in charge of Iran? The captains thereof. Prepare against her the nations with the kings of the Medes, the captains thereof, and all the rulers thereof, and all the land of his dominion. Ezekiel 38:39. We're going to read that too. And the land shall tremble and sorrow, for every purpose of the Lord shall be performed against Babylon, to make the land of Babylon a desolation without inhabitant. And it said forever. So it didn't already happen. It happened, like a picture of it already happened once. But as of today, there are people there getting their heads chopped off for being a Christian. There are people there killing other people because one's a Shiite and one's a Sunni. People killing people there for money. There's people killing their people for oil. It's just a pain. That place is just bad. Maybe in its day it was great. But as of today, I would not. If somebody offers you a free trip to Iraq, careful where you go. The mighty men of Babylon have forborne to fight. They have remained in their holds. Their might hath failed. They have become as women. They have burned her dwelling places, and her bars are broken. One post shall run to meet another, and one messenger to another, to show the king of Babylon that the city is taken at one end, and that the passages are stopped, and the reeds have burned with fire, and the men of war are affrighted. For thus saith the Lord of hosts, the God of Israel, the daughter of Babylon is like a threshing floor, and it is time to thresh her. Yet a little while, and the time of her harvest shall come. Nebuchadnezzar, the king of Babylon, hath devoured me. He hath crushed me. He hath made me an empty vessel. He hath hollowed me up like a dragon, and he hath filled his belly with my delicates. He hath cast me out. The violence done to me and to my flesh be upon Babylon. Shall the inhabitant of Zion say, and my blood upon the inhabitants of Chaldea? Shall Jerusalem say, therefore, thus saith the Lord, Behold, I will plead thy cause, and take vengeance for thee, and I will dry up her sea, and I will make her springs dry. And Babylon shall become heaps, a dwelling place for dragons, an astonishment, and a hissing, without inhabitant. They shall roar together like lions, they shall yell as lions' whelps. In their heat I will make their feast, and I will make them drunken, that they may rejoice and sleep a perpetual sleep, and not wake, saith the Lord. I will bring them down like lambs to the slaughter, like rams with he-goats. How is Shekah taken? S-E-S-H-E-S-H, Shishak taken. How is Shishak taken? And how is the praise of the whole earth surprised? How has Babylon become an astonishment among the nations? The sea has come up to Babylon, she is covered with the multitude of the waves thereof. Her cities are desolation, a dry land, a wilderness, a land wherein no man dwells, neither doth any son or man pass thereby. And I will punish Baal. I will punish Baal in Babylon, and I will bring forth out of his mouth that which he hath swallowed up, and the nations shall not flow together any more unto him. Yea, the wall of Babylon shall fall. My people, go ye out of the midst of her, and deliver ye every man his soul from the fierce anger of the Lord. Unless your heart faint, and ye fear, for the rumor that shall be heard in the land, a rumor shall both come 1 year, after that in another year shall come a rumor, and the violence in the land, and the ruler against ruler. Therefore, behold, the days come that I will do judgment upon the graven images of Babylon, and her whole land shall be confounded in her, and all her slain shall fall in the midst of her. Then the heaven and the earth and all that is therein shall sing for Babylon, for the spoilers shall come unto her from the north, saith the Lord. As Babylon hath caused the slain of Israel to fall, so at Babylon shall fall the slain of all the earth. So because Babylon hurt Israel, wow. As 51:49. As Babylon hath caused the slain of Israel to fall, so at Babylon shall fall the slain of all the earth. Ye that have escaped the sword, go away, stand not still, remember the Lord afar off, and let Jerusalem, it's my little graven image. Woo! It's the little Jerusalem in his hand, the burdensome stone. As Babylon hath caused the slain of Israel to fall, so at Babylon shall fall the slain of all the earth. Ye that have escaped the sword, go away, stand not still, remember the Lord afar off, and let Jerusalem come into your mind. That's 50. 51. We are confounded because we have heard the report, the reproach. Shame hath covered our faces, for strangers have come into the sanctuaries of the Lord's house. Wherefore, behold, the days come, saith the Lord, that I will do judgment upon her graven images, and through all her land the wounded shall groan. So, does anyone, after hearing these words, think that he likes statues or images? That's one thing. Pray to him, worship him. That's the ones he's talking about. Wherefore, behold, the days cometh, saith the Lord, that I will do judgment upon her graven images, and through all the land the wounded shall groan. How sad is it? I mean, what if people come here and go, it's not Jesus, it's not Yeshua, it's not Joshua, it's a statue. Why do we like them? Makes you feel better. It's like a reminder. What's wrong with him? What if that wasn't him? What if it didn't look like him? somebody made an image of him, passed it out to the whole world, and told us what he looks like, because none of us were alive back then. And on Easter morning in 2012 in the Vatican in Rome, the head of Mystery Babylon, the whore that rides the beast, they sang Flaming Lucifer, can never be defeated, and Christ is his son, and they just kept singing it and singing it with incense. And with, I mean, I wanted to puke. I was so pissed. They almost had me going, and then I read that the same people think Christ is the Son. So I mean, you can't read this book and think that the Son, S-U-N, could make the universe. The Sun could make the moon. The Sun could make the planet. The Sun could make the Earth. The Sun could. I mean, just the only way you can get away with that is to not read the book, which is what most churches do. Most churches talk. Everybody gives their messages, and they don't read the book. So then the sheep have no idea that what they're doing is so wrong. And that just, the Lord gets angry, as you can tell. Ye that have escaped the sword, go away, stand not still. Remember the Lord afar off, and let Jerusalem come into your mind. We are confounded because we have heard the reproach. Shame hath covered our faces, for strangers are come into the sanctuaries of the Lord's house. Wherefore, behold, the days come, saith the Lord, that I will do judgment upon her graven images, and through all the land the wounded shall groan. NIMRODS city's not there anymore. A little caterpillar bulldozer action. Though Babylon should mount up to heaven, and though she should fortify the height of her strength, yet from me shall spoilers come unto her, saith the Lord. At the sound of a cry cometh from Babylon, a great destruction from the land of the Chaldeans. 55. Because the Lord has spoiled Babylon and destroyed her out of the great voice, when her waves do roar like great waters, and noise of their voices uttered. Because the spoiler has come upon her, even upon Babylon, and her mighty men are taken away. Every one of their bows is broken, for the Lord God of recompenses shall surely requite. Get them back. You did what you did, your turn. And I will make drunk her princes, and I will make her wise men, her captains, and her rulers, and her mighty men, and they shall sleep a perpetual sleep, and not wake, saith the Lord, saith the King, whose name is the Lord of hosts. 58. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, the broad walls of Babylon shall be utterly broken, and her high gates shall be burned with fire. And what's that gate? Ishtar's gate in Berlin? Thus saith the Lord of hosts, the broad walls of Babylon shall be utterly broken, and her high gates shall be burned with fire, and the people shall labor in vain, and the folk in the fire, and they shall be weary. And there's a couple more statues in London, champions of London, Magog. I think it's Cornelius, Magog, their little statue. It's a good story. They call him the champion of London, Magog. I wonder what Lord's going to do to that statue. The word of the Lord, which Jeremiah the prophet commanded, and Sarah the son of Nerah, the son of Messiah, he went with Zedekiah, the king of Judah, into Babylon in the 4th year of his reign. And this Sariah was a quiet prince. So Jeremiah wrote in a book all the evil that should come upon Babylon, even all these words that are written against Babylon. So he wrote all these things before it even happened. And Jeremiah said to Sariah, when thou comest to Babylon and shall see, and shall read all these words, then shall thou say, O Lord, thou hast spoken against this place, to cut it off, that none should remain in it, neither man nor beast, but that it shall be desolate forever. It's pretty soon. And it shall be, when thou hast made an ending of the reading of this book, that thou shalt bind a stone to it and cast it into the midst of the Euphrates River, just so you know where it is. And thou shalt say, thus shall Babylon sink, and shall not rise from the evil that I will bring upon her, and they shall be weary. Thus far are the words of Jeremiah. That's that chapter. Good luck.